Hello again, my friend. Before we jump into something that might just change how you move through your day, let me ask, where are you watching this from? I truly love reading your answers. It reminds me that, no matter the distance, we're building a quiet but powerful community of senior wisdom and motivation here. And if you haven't already, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. This channel is here for you, full of senior health tips, elderly reflections, and real stories that help us not just age, but age well. Now, let's get into something most people don't talk about enough, something that's been called the new smoking. Something that can slowly damage your heart, your brain, your muscles, and even your independence, without you feeling it happen. It's called sitting disease. And yes, it affects seniors the most, even the ones who exercise. Let me explain. Have you ever felt proud because you walked for 30 minutes this morning, but then spent the next 5 hours sitting? I know I have. You might read the paper, watch the news, sit for lunch, sit to write a letter, sit to call a friend. Then you sit again for dinner. A few more hours in the recliner, and suddenly, most of your day is gone. Now here's the surprising, and slightly frightening, part. New research shows that even if you exercise regularly, long periods of sitting can still increase your risk of heart disease, diabetes, blood clots, and early death. Yes, even if you're doing your morning stretches, even if you take a daily walk. The real danger is not just not moving, it's staying still for too long at a time. Let me tell you about Harold. He's 79. Healthy, sharp, and one of the most disciplined people I know. Every morning at 7 a.m., like clockwork, he walks 2 miles through the neighborhood. Then he comes home, has his oatmeal, and settles into his favorite armchair. Sometimes for 2 hours. Sometimes more. He watches TV, reads, chats with friends on the phone. The problem? From 9 a.m. to dinner, Harold barely stands. And lately, he's noticed something. His knees ache more. His feet swell by afternoon. He's been more tired, even though he sleeps well. At first, he thought it was age. But his doctor said something unexpected. Harold, you're active, but you're still sitting too much. Your circulation is slowing down. Your blood sugar is spiking. We need to interrupt the stillness. That's what sitting disease does. It tricks us into thinking we're doing enough because we move some, but it's the gaps in between that cause the damage. Let's talk about what sitting does to the body, especially after 65. First, your muscles begin to weaken. When you sit for long stretches, the large muscles in your legs and hips start to lose strength. Your glutes, the muscles in your backside that keep you balanced, begin to switch off. That leads to instability, and that's why many seniors suddenly feel wobbly when they stand up. Second, your circulation slows down. Your heart works harder when you sit still for hours. Blood pools in your legs. That increases the risk of swelling, varicose veins, and even deep vein thrombosis, a dangerous blood clot that can travel to the lungs. Third, your blood sugar spikes. Sitting too long after a meal, especially dinner, makes it harder for your body to process glucose. That's why people who sit more often, even if they're not overweight, are more likely to develop type 2 diabetes. Fourth, your brain gets less oxygen. When circulation slows, your brain doesn't get the same sharp flow of oxygen and nutrients. That foggy feeling in the afternoon? The lack of focus? Sometimes, it's not age. It's just too much sitting. Now, here's the part that gave me chills when I read it. A study in the Annals of Internal Medicine followed over 8,000 adults aged 45 and older. They found that those who sat more than 10 hours a day, in stretches longer than 30 minutes, had a twice as high risk of early death, even if they exercised daily. But here's the good news. It doesn't take a gym, or a special machine, or a major lifestyle overhaul. Fixing sitting disease, especially for seniors, can be done in 2 easy steps. And I'll share the first one with you now. It's called the 30-minute break rule. Every 30 minutes, stand up. That's it. You don't even have to walk. Just stand. Stretch. Shift your weight. March in place for 20 seconds. Swing your arms. What that does is reactivate your circulation, wake up your leg muscles, and remind your body you're still here. Still moving. Still alive. Harold started setting a kitchen timer. Every 30 minutes, it dings. He stands, walks to the window, takes 3 deep breaths, rolls his shoulders, and sits back down. It takes 1 minute. But after 2 weeks, his knees stopped aching. His mind felt clearer by noon. He said, "I didn't change much. I just stopped staying still for so long." That's the power of a little motion. And it's not just about avoiding disease, it's about preserving your independence. Because when you sit too long, day after day, your body begins to forget what it means to stand with confidence. You lose strength. Then balance. Then you start holding on to furniture. Then a cane. Then a walker. It doesn't happen overnight. But it happens silently. Slowly. And by the time you notice, it's hard to get it back. But you can get ahead of it now. Let me ask you, how long do you sit each day? Be honest. Think about your routine. Is it 4 hours? 6? 10? It's not about guilt. It's about awareness. Because once you notice, you can choose differently. And that leads us to step 2, which we'll talk about in the next part. But for now, I want you to try something. After this video ends, stand up. Walk to the window. Stretch your arms up toward the ceiling. Roll your ankles. March in place for just 30 seconds. Then ask yourself, how do I feel? That's your body saying thank you. If this video spoke to you, please take a second to like it, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. This channel is for us, for those over 60 who are still learning, still moving, still living with purpose. And remember, tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? When we left off, I asked you to do something simple. Just stand up, move your body for 30 seconds, and notice how you felt. Did you try it? If you did, you probably felt a small shift. A little warmth in the legs. A stretch in the spine. Maybe your breath deepened. Maybe your mind felt just a bit more alert. That's your body saying, This is what I need more of. And that brings us to the second step to fighting sitting disease after 70, one that may sound simple, but has the power to change your future. It's called intentional micromovement. Now before you tune out, thinking this is just another fitness trend, stay with me. This isn't about exercise. This is about staying independent. Micromovement means building tiny, purposeful movements into the moments you're already living. Not going to the gym. Not setting aside an hour. Just slipping gentle movement into your normal life. Let me show you what I mean. You're brushing your teeth? Great. While you do that, stand on one foot for 10 seconds, then switch. That's balance training. That's leg strength. That's fall prevention. You're waiting for the microwave? Perfect. Do slow heel raises. Up and down, up and down. That's calf strength, blood flow, and improved circulation. You're talking on the phone? Don't sit. Stand, walk in place, or stretch your arms overhead. You'd be amazed at how much better you feel after even 2 minutes of light movement. These small motions, repeated daily, do more than keep your muscles awake, they protect your autonomy. Because here's the truth. When we stop using certain movements, our body stops preparing to do them. The ability to bend down and pick something up, the ability to reach the top shelf, the ability to walk without holding onto furniture, all of these are use it or lose it abilities. And after 70, your body loses faster than it used to. But it can also bounce back faster than you think, if you give it the chance. Let me tell you about Dolores. She's 82, lives alone, and used to be a school teacher. Sharp, witty, and very set in her ways. She called me one day and said, "I feel like my legs are going soft." I hate it. She wasn't sick. She wasn't weak. But she had started spending hours each day sitting, writing letters, watching the news, reading books. Good things, but still things that kept her still. I asked her to try one change. Every time she finished a chapter in her book, she had to stand up and do 30 seconds of movement, anything she wanted. At first, she rolled her eyes. But she did it anyway. 2 weeks later, she called back. I'm walking better, she said. My knees don't creak. My back doesn't ache as much. I feel younger. And she hadn't changed her diet. She hadn't lost weight. She hadn't joined a gym. She had just added tiny, intentional motion to her day. And now, she doesn't just move better, she feels more in control. That's the secret right there. Fighting sitting disease isn't about doing more. It's about doing smarter. It's about understanding that movement is medicine, but only if you take it in small, steady doses throughout the day. You wouldn't take 10 pills in the morning and none for the rest of the day, right? So why move for 30 minutes in the morning and then sit for the next 8 hours? The body wants consistency. Rhythm. Gentle reminders that it's alive and needed. And when you give it that, it responds. You stand taller. You fall less. You sleep deeper. You stay sharper. Because it's not just your legs that benefit from micromovement. Your brain lights up, too. Every time you stand, shift, stretch, or sway, you increase blood flow to the brain, delivering oxygen and nutrients where they're needed most. That means better memory, better mood, and slower cognitive decline. In fact, a study from the Journal of Gerontology showed that seniors who broke up sitting time every 30 minutes with light activity had 25% better executive function than those who sat for longer periods, even if both groups exercised in the morning. Think about that. Same age. Same fitness level. The only difference? The pattern of their day. Now I know you might be thinking. But I like sitting. I'm tired. I've earned my rest. Yes, you have. And this isn't about standing all day. It's not about guilt. It's about balance. You can still enjoy your chair. You can still read, knit, watch TV, listen to music. But make those moments bookend with motion. Before you sit, move for 1 minute. After you sit, move for 1 minute. That's all. And if you're worried about forgetting, here's a tip. Set a gentle alarm. One that rings every 30 minutes with a soft chime. Label it move. When it goes off, don't ignore it. Honor it. Even if you're just rolling your shoulders. Even if you're just circling your ankles. Every movement matters. Here's another tip. Make movement part of something else you enjoy. Love watching the news? Stand up during commercial breaks. Love listening to music? Put on one song and dance in the kitchen, even if it's just swaying side to side. Love talking with your grandkids on the phone? Walk around the room while you do it. You don't need permission. You need intention. Because sitting disease doesn't scream. It whispers. It slowly turns strong legs into weak ones. Sharp minds into foggy ones. It takes little bits of your freedom, until one day, you notice it's harder to get up than it used to be. But you can stop that process, right now. You can be the one who says, "No. I'm not giving in to decline. I still have more life to live." And that starts with movement. Small, steady, beautiful movement. So here's your challenge, set a timer today. Every 30 minutes, stand up. Pick one activity, brushing your teeth, waiting for toast, standing at the sink, and add one micro movement. Heel raises, leg swings, shoulder rolls. Anything. Just begin. And then, watch what changes. If this message connected with you, let me know in the comments. How many hours a day do you think you're sitting? And what's one small movement you'll add starting today? Please take a second to like the video and subscribe. This space exists for people like you, people who are still becoming, still growing, still moving, one wise step at a time. If you've made it here, I want to say this first: I'm proud of you. Because most people don't want to hear that something as ordinary as sitting could be quietly hurting their health, especially when they already try to stay active. But you've stayed with me. You've opened your mind. You've chosen awareness over comfort. And that, my friend, is how people stay independent well into their 80s, 90s, and beyond. So now that you understand what sitting disease really is, and how powerful small, consistent movement can be, I want to leave you with something deeper. This isn't just about movement. This is about momentum. You see, life after 70 is often full of shifts. You retire. Friends move away. Energy dips. The world moves fast around you. It's easy, so easy, to slowly slip into stillness. Into long stretches of quiet, of rest, of pause. But rest is only beautiful when it comes after movement, not instead of it. Stillness, when overdone, turns into stagnation. And stagnation is what steals our spark. It's what turns "I'll take a short walk later" into "maybe tomorrow." It's what turns "my legs feel stiff" into "I can't get up without help." And worst of all, it's what turns "I'm living" into "I'm waiting." That's why these small, intentional movements, standing every 30 minutes, heel raises at the sink, a few stretches before lunch, matter more than we can see. Because they're not just protecting your muscles or your balance. They're protecting your confidence. Let me tell you one final story. Her name is Gladys. She's 87. Fierce. Lived through 2 husbands, raised 4 children, and still does her own laundry. I met her at a senior wellness event, sitting quietly in the back row. After the talk, she came up to me and said something I'll never forget. I used to think slowing down was a sign of aging. But now I realize, it's the decision to stop moving that starts the real aging. She said that at 87. With a cane in one hand and dignity in the other. Gladys doesn't run. She doesn't lift weights. But every hour, she stands. She stretches her arms. She swings her legs. She keeps the wheels of her body, and her life, turning. I do it, she said, so I don't become a couch decoration. I want to be a woman who still has a say in how she lives. That's what I want for you. Not to fear your chair. Not to be ashamed of sitting. But to use the chair as a pause, not a trap. To see every 30 minutes as a fresh chance to move forward, not just physically, but emotionally. Because when you move, even a little, you're sending a message to your body and your mind. I'm still here. I still care. I'm still becoming. And that message, that quiet declaration of self-worth, that's the real medicine. So let's wrap this up with 5 small reminders, not rules, just gentle suggestions you can carry into your day. First, set a 30-minute timer. Let it remind you to stand, shift, stretch, or stroll. Second, add 1 micro movement to a daily task. Make it part of your rhythm. Third, listen to your body, not your habits. Just because you've always sat for hours doesn't mean you have to keep doing it. Fourth, tell someone. Share what you've learned. You might inspire a friend, a spouse, a neighbor. Fifth, celebrate every bit of progress. If you stood up 4 times today instead of 2, that matters. You're not behind. You're right on time. You're still in charge of the way your body moves through the world, and that means you're still very much alive. If this video helped you rethink your day, or your habits, or even just gave you a nudge to move your toes while watching, tell me in the comments. I want to hear from you. How are you breaking up your sitting time? And if you haven't already, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're not just here for facts. We're here for elderly wisdom, senior health, real-life stories, and that quiet motivation that makes each day feel worth showing up for. Thank you for being here. Thank you for moving with me, even in small ways. And wherever you are right now, maybe just stand up. Roll your shoulders. Lift your chin. Take one proud breath. Because you're doing it. And that's everything.